Life is an amazing podcast, and it is presented and hosted by myself, Caro, and my sweet dog Sparky. Give it up for him. So Go For Your Life actually means to do something to your heart's content. It is a phrase used in Australia and the United Kingdom as an expression of encouragement. So this podcast is to encourage, to inspire, and to uplift. I hope you're ready. Enjoy. So, I am welcoming Holly all the way from Connecticut, if I say this correctly, which I think I'm saying correctly, from Yoga is Vegan, which is, what is really exciting is that the tables have turned because I was on her podcast a while back, and now she is on my podcast, my brand new podcast, Go For Your Life, and I'm extremely excited to have this connection. We are recording this through Skype. So there might be some barking dogs soon, or, you know, let's see how we go. But we're very happy. I'm super excited that you are in this episode, Holly. So welcome.
Yay. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to do this.
Yeah.
Because you've been such a great guest and such an amazing feature. And it's so nice that we connected. And so many people have learned from you.
Wow,
it's
thank you.
And it's an honor to be on your podcast. I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
so, good work.
It's really, I'm so grateful. And also another side note is that Holly also has given me a lot of technical advice and a lot of podcasting advice. So in general, I am very grateful for you, Holly, and for us connecting, for sure. Very much so.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes.
So cool.
So I know who you are, but maybe, of course, I definitely want to talk a lot about your Yoga is Vegan blog and podcast and everything. But maybe first tell us who you are, Holly.
Who am I? Okay, well, I'm a yoga teacher and vegan. I live in Connecticut now, which is close to New York. It's like an hour away from Manhattan. Mm-hmm. And I used to be a West Coast yogi living in Los Angeles. So, so my experience teaching is both on the East Coast and the West Coast. I don't know what else about me. I started this project about a year and a half ago, and have just been kind of trying to find different ways to connect to people about yoga and veganism. Yeah. I've explored both avenues. So I'm also a certified plant-based vegan coach and educator, which is, I did that 2017 with Main Street Vegan Academy in New York City with Victoria Moran. And that was pretty cool. That's kind of where I learned to become not to become vegan, but kind of you learn a little bit more and start positioning yourself to do stuff business-wise and make an impact just on the world, which I think is really my main mission, is to connect with other people and just start to uplift this idea of doing less harm, eating more plants, and kind of living in a compassionate way.
And what do they really teach you in that course? Like, is it like a very is it a course that you're also cooking in, or is it very based on nutrition and, you know, like more study, or what is this course?
You know, it's kind of it's like a full range, not cooking. There isn't anything, so you have to be vegan to attend.
Awesome.
So they get into the business aspect. She has a lot of different mentors. So as far as like cooking, we had, I can't remember the name of the woman, but she like this chocolatier.
Wow.
Fran Costigan.
Wow.
I think I'm saying her name right. She's got a couple books out. She was like a traditional pastry chef. Wow. Who ended up learning how to do everything vegan due to health issues. So she kind of got in the whole food plant-based route. And that's what shifted her trajectory as far as how she became this kind of vegan chef. So that was our introduction as far as food. And we also had the vegan Moe's. they came in and spoke as well. But so what she does is she has different mentors who come in and speak. And then as far as like the nutrition element is concerned, she gets it more into like the whole food plant based. So a lot of the T. Colin Campbell, a lot of the Esselstyn, Neil Barnard, excuse me, that kind of whole food plant based, Dean Ornish, was our introduction as far as food. And then she gets into, where did veganism come from? Like in David Watson and how did you get there to that course? Like how did that kind of started happening in your life? I had gone through my Dharma Mitra, my first 500-hour training with Dharma Mitra in 2016. And that was the pivotal point for me going vegan as opposed to plant-based. I was like 95, whatever, % plant-based from 2000.
So is Dharma Mitra vegan?
Oh, yeah.
And
in fact, he's on the podcast this week.
Wow. Oh my God, I can't wait. Yeah.
It's a big one.
That's amazing.
Kind of incredible. And what's so cool about his training, and it was like his training that led me to her training in an indirect way, but you have to be vegan during the duration of his training. And I had already kind of switched my heart, but it was really solidified in that training of ahimsa. We had to meditate on it for like 30 straight days. It's really incredible work. And then once I had made that shift to calling myself and behaving in a vegan way, I was looking at Veg News magazine. I don't know if you see that. Do you guys get it? They're online.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Yeah.
And it's just an ad in the back for Main Street Vegan Academy. And I was like, this is really cool.
And like, I didn't know what it's still going?
Oh, yeah. She does them. She does a few of them every year. People come from all over. Yeah, I don't know what country count she has now, but she's got people from all over the world.
Well, let's make sure that we put this in the notes as well, for sure. Like, I'll make sure that I get this info from you, because it sounds amazing. It sounds
it
really
is
incredible.
I'm busy plugging Victoria Moran. So Victoria Moran is who started this program. She's an author. She's a yogi. Yeah. But she's also a producer, and there's a movie right now for A Prayer for Compassion. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's a documentary that just...
Wow.
Yeah, it finally went rentable on Vimeo. I think it was this week.
Cool.
But it's this incredible documentary just about like all the different religions and kind of point to the compassion element of religions and how veganism can come into all of it. It's really exciting, interesting work.
And what about for you, Holly? Because was yoga there first, or was veganism there first, or like it sounds like yoga was there first, right?
Well, I guess yoga was there first because technically I didn't go vegan until 2016, but they kind of came sort of together. It's an interesting story because I feel like everybody gets in the door to veganism in different ways, right? We've talked about like how everybody kind of opens their eyes or opens their hearts to it. And what had happened to me was I was already practicing yoga, but back in 2011, I went for my first like 200-hour teacher training. And it was coming off of a time where I had I had lost my dad about, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years before that. But he was actually a little bit, no, probably 10 years before that. But we had watched my dad go through like a liver transplant and then lung cancer. So it was like 4 years of death. And then my husband's mom, that's what it was right before this training. My husband's mom ended up getting pancreatic cancer.
Jesus.
And those are like, lung cancer and pancreatic cancer are kind of horrific cancers that kind of, especially pancreatic. Yeah. And both of them were these beautiful examples of how your lifestyle really affects your health. Yeah. Obviously, my dad having a liver transplant, that was, self-induced alcoholism. And that was, something very long that he suffered with. And I think the whole family suffered. watching, and it was very obvious from, a very young age that he wouldn't live to be very old. He ended up going into a coma at 59 and then dying from lung cancer, 2 years later. So it's pretty short life. And then watching my husband's mom do the same thing. And we had just had started our family. And so we're looking at longevity and happiness and, not being brought up in a world where we were looking at health, but looking at their actions and wanting to do something different. And that's when I started reading the China Study. Yeah, which,
great book.
It opened the door, and then I watched Forks Over Knives, and so I
started
getting my toes wet. And then when I went for my first 200-hour teacher training, that's what pushed me to becoming vegetarian, because I wanted to honor the teacher and try being vegetarian, at least for the duration of the training. So that's something I decided to do. And then even though I knew the plant-based was the solution, I wasn't quite there yet. And as soon as I kind of got in, there were a few vegan yogis who started talking about, the rennet and the cheeses and starting to school me a little bit on why veganism is cruel, or, why dairy is cruel.
Veganism is so cruel.
I know, it's awful.
These cruel people is awful.
And so that's where I was vegan most of the time, but it wasn't 100%. I hadn't shifted to not buying products, wearing, like clothing or shoes or all that kind of stuff that really starts to come later. So I was mostly there from 2011, but I didn't, 2016 was when that door shut, and
that was
card carrying vegan.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
And for you, I would say that it's as it is for me, very important that, there is a link between yoga and veganism, right? That's why, because when I saw your message first, yoga is vegan, I was like, oh my God, I need to be in touch with this person who's behind this blog, because I live for that. I also think that there's it's all one, and there's a really strong connection. So tell me a little bit about how that kind of started happening when you started Yoga is Vegan, and how did it start? Where were you coming from?
Right. Well, it started through the advanced trainings with Dharma Mitra. It started twofold. It was the coming at it's my two mentors, Dharma Mitra, and Victoria Moran from Main Street Vegan. They were both very pivotal in kind of shaping this. But part of Dharma's 500-hour program was the first. You have these, this homework. So you go in and you do these. I think it was around 8 days or 9 days in the city where you have the intensives, and you do it twice for your 500. So you're there from 6 a.m. to 8 or 9 at night every night.
Yeah.
And then during the duration, you have a diet, and you're going through the meditation, pranayama, spiritual discipline, all this kind of training, and plus the the asana, the poses, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when you go on your own, that's when the hard work starts, and it gives you this you had to be vegan during the training, but then you're into this special sattvic diet for 3 months where everything changes. I mean, the only nuts were sprouted almonds, and there were no spices, no garlic. It was very, very. It was a very, very clean diet, and the idea was to keep the body sattvic and the mind sattvic for meditation.
Wow.
And so then, part of this practice was, I think we had to go through the yamas, the niyamas, and the first one was ahimsa, because he really teaches there is no yoga without ahimsa.
Yeah.
And you either had to meditate or journal on ahimsa. And so that's what I did every single morning, is I meditated on this idea of ahimsa. And so I kind of keep these practices past the 3 months of the training. And so that became really something